My game started to grow. I was like, I need a change. This is before the season even started. I was tired of like having to be the only guy that can make threes.
If you're a teammate, you're gonna feel away regardless. Like, wait, what? Like, Brody, I know you KD. They're gonna be like, bro, I know you KD. I know you Kevin Durant. You KD. You easy money sniper, bro. But don't make it sound like that season went away because you're the only person who can make threes. You're the only real skilled dude on. Like, you know, it's just don't make it sound like that. Cause that wasn't the story when we was up 3-1.
NBA season started, OKC played against Golden State in just the 5th game of the year, and before their first matchup as opponents,
Thunder
Westbrook
got their ass
decided to
beat.
show up to the game with an official photographer outfit. Even though he never admitted
I never liked
it,
Russ's
was clearly
outfits.
inspired by Durant, who is an avid photographer and who even got to cover Super Bowl 50.
I didn't know he was a photographer.
But when the actual game started, Russ had very few things to be happy about.
Right.
With the Warriors smashing OKC by 26 points.
Right.
Durant outscoring him 39-20. The second time around, when the two teams played each other in January of 2017, it didn't get much better for Westbrook and the Thunder, with KD scoring 40 points to Westbrook's 27, and Golden State winning by 21. At the end of the game, when Thunder's center Enes Kanter approached to talk to his former teammate, Russ was caught on camera cursing him out for saying what's up to Durant. After the game, when asked if he and Durant were on speaking terms, Westbrook answered bluntly.
Nah.
Their third matchup of the 2017 season came on February 11th, and it was the first time KD was back in Oklahoma after signing with the Warriors.
This one, Russ kills. Russ had like 47.
There's no way he could have been ready for that much hatred.
Starting at forward, 6'9" from Texas, number 35, Kevin Durant.
Cupcake had now become a very familiar term within the Thunder fans, and along with plenty of signs, derogatory language, and cupcake cardboards, fans booed KD every time he had the ball. However, when the game started, it was mostly about basketball, until Andre Roberson fouled Durant hard, and the two had a scuffle that was clearly personal. Then, during the third quarter, after a timeout was called, Westbrook had nothing nice to say to KD after they met at midcourt. But even though he may have won the shouting match, he didn't win the game, as Golden State easily defeated the Thunder for the third straight time, despite 47 points from Westbrook. The two beefing former teammates didn't have to wait long to see each other again, as they were both selected to represent West at the 2017 All-Star Game in New Orleans. And it was as awkward can be. KD and Russ used to take bus rides together to All-Star games and sit next to each other in the locker room. Now, one of them requested to be seated on the opposite side so they could limit any contact as much as possible. The players who were with them described the feeling in the practice locker room as painfully quiet and uncomfortable. Even for Friday evening, Westbrook was late on purpose, just so he didn't have to answer questions next to Durant. Eventually, Westbrook showed up and inevitably had to answer questions about Kevin. But Westbrook's strategy became obvious rather quickly, flipping each question into something about fashion.
Man, you know what? Fashion Week has been great. You seen Fashion Week?
However, when the game started, instincts took over and everything was forgotten for a brief moment. As Westbrook came into the game midway through the opening quarter, it took less than a minute before Russ gave KD the look, the one he gave him so many times before. Durant made a cut across the lane, Westbrook fired a pass his way, cut behind it, and Durant lobbed it up for a Westbrook dunk. As the building erupted. For that brief moment, everything returned to normal. Everybody cheered. The ice was...
Am I the only one who heard that?
Everything returned to normal. Everybody cheered. The ice was finally broken, and the awkwardness was gone. But it lasted a total of 82 seconds, which was the time the beefing duo spent on the court together.
There was a nice alley-oop you threw in the late first quarter, and the recipient was wearing 0. What did you think about that play?
It's a great basketball play. He was open, so I threw him the lob.
Like, bro, what the fuck?
He just threw a lob. It's basketball.
Basketball. That's it.
No high fives, nothing.
Did you see that?
Did you see it?
The fourth time that OKC and Golden State met during the 2017 season, Kevin didn't play due to injury. A few months later, Russ won the MVP after averaging a triple-double for the season.
And the winner of the 2017 Kia NBA Most Valuable Player Award is Russell Westbrook.
While KD finally got what he always wanted, winning his first championship with the Warriors. And yet, the beef wasn't over. The world wasn't going to let this one go.
If you're Russell Westbrook, you have to look in the mirror now more so than ever before, particularly because Kevin Durant is now a champion.
Peyton Manning took the opportunity to stir the pot at the 2017 ESPYs.
Our gymnastics team was so dominant that Kevin Durant told me he wants to play for them next year.
Hey, do they be making up these jokes or do they have these written down? Because everybody who comes up here be having some decent jokes. Didn't Curry come up here and roast Grant Williams? Like, I'm starting to think that they have jokes written down for them or something. Because no way all y'all this funny on the fly.
When the 2018 season started, KD played his second game back in OKC. But this time around, the crowd wasn't as hostile, despite a few cupcake signs. But between him and Russ, there was still tension.
The official's going to have to step in sooner or later.
However, during the rest of the season, the beef seemed mostly dormant. At the 2018 All-Star Game, the energy was vastly different, with KD saying positive things about Westbrook, admitting that he was the one to blame for the situation.
I just got out of my own head and got out of my own way and start, thinking it was even a thing, I feel like I just made it a thing when it shouldn't have been. So it's cool to kind of get past that and just appreciate these guys.
Yeah, time heals all wounds, man, for most people.
At the end of the day.
Durant was also quick to praise Westbrook when asked about his favorite dunk, even if he didn't mention him by name.
The 6'3" guy I used to play with a couple years ago, his athleticism was off the charts, so I used to see him do normal dunks every day, and now when I see dunks, it's not as good as his. So he's an athletic guy. I think he plays in OKC. I threw him a lob one game, and he was over top of the backboard, and after that, nobody else could compare.
When he appeared on Bill Simmons' podcast in March of 2018, KD spoke about Russ and that whole ignoring situation at the 2017 All-Star break. It was awkward for me because I'm like, first of all, I got pride. We both got pride. So if I walk up to somebody and they just ignore me, I would get really upset. I would get really mad, you know what I'm saying? I don't really get mad a lot, but that pisses me off. So I didn't want to make it an awkward situation for him. I didn't want to make it an awkward situation for me, so it was weird. I wanted to ask Russell, like, how's your family doing, man? How do you feel? Stuff that normal people talk about. But there's so many cameras watching and it's, oh, hey, what'd they talk about? They didn't look at each other. They didn't even say hi. It was just making me so mad. They say time heals all wounds.
It does.
Even though a lot had passed,
in most
between
cases,
Russ and KD didn't die. And the biggest reason for that was social media. Durant was long known for getting into interactions on Twitter and IG. And in the spring of 2018, he liked a post saying that Russ was the reason he left OKC. Durant later told ESPN that it was a total accident, that he liked the comment regarding Westbrook, which nobody believed was true. What also didn't help was his brother and close associates also posting negative things about Westbrook, thus keeping the beef alive.
Sorry, I'm gonna get his ass back. Straight up.
In 2019, after it seemed that nobody was talking about it anymore, the always loud and always controversial Stephen A. Smith chimed in, saying that Westbrook never bought into Durant's leadership ability.
And I asked somebody, I said, I don't understand. They said, Stephen A., if you're going to get on KD about anything, you've gotten on him about the wrong thing. They said when he was in Oklahoma City, he wasn't viewed as a leader. I was like, what were you talking about? I mean, I know it just because you're the best player don't mean leader. He said he was the best player. They said, but it was hard for Russell Westbrook to follow him because KD, the man that you see right now, was a boy back then. And Russell Westbrook came in a man.
A year later, Durant appeared on All the Smoke podcast, adding more fuel to the fire.
I watched a lot of athletes. I didn't play with a lot of skilled guys, not like shooter, trip, ball handlers. So after a while, my game started to grow. I was like, I need a change. This is before the season even started. I was tired of like having to be the only guy that can make threes.
See, and this is when I saw this, if you're a teammate, you're gonna feel away regardless. Like, wait, what? Like, Brody, I know you KD. They're gonna be like, bro, I know you KD. I know you Kevin Durant. You KD. You easy money sniper, bro. But don't make it sound like that season went away because you're the only person who can make threes. You're the only real skilled dude on. Like, it's just, don't make it sound like that, because that wasn't the story when we was up 3-1. You know what I'm saying? If I'm Serge Ibaka and them or whoever, that's what I personally would say. Like, that wasn't the story when we was up 3-1. It was a whole different ball game. It's always easy to say this and that when it don't work out well.
Make jump shots and consistently make them.
In 2021, Durant appeared on another podcast, and failed to mention Westbrook as one of his top 5 teammates.
Top 5 players you ever played.
I forgot about this clip.
James. Steph. Clay. And I'm gonna go Serge Ibaka.
Damn.
That was on purpose. I know he tried to say at the end, oh yeah, text Serge, but he tried to text Serge Ibaka off and put fucking Westbrook. That was on purpose, bro. He knew what he was doing. You didn't forget about Russ.
Damn.
I thought somebody else was going
me
into
too.
that
I'm
from
just
LA.
However, in the last couple of years, it seemed like the two finally buried the hatchet. In the 2023 playoff series between Russell Westbrook's Clippers and Durant's Suns, KD had nothing but praise for his former teammate.
When he retired, people won't really tell the truth about how they feel about his game. Right now, it's a fun thing to do is to make a choke out of Russ. But he the way he's been playing is since he got with the Clippers, showed everybody who he really is.
Durant said after Game 4 when Westbrook had 37 points. And even though there was still some trash talking during the series, it felt different. And it was more playful, competitive banter rather than an ugly beef that used to exist between them. And they even dapped up in the tunnel after the game. When the duo saw each other at a college football game in 2024, it was all love. And we hope it stays that way for good.
Yeah, that shit was over. Like I said, time heals all wounds. So Westbrook eventually got he still probably feels somewhat of a way, but he got over that shit, bro. He didn't care about that shit no more. He said it is what it is. Anyways, y'all like this video? Smash that like button. Rest in peace to Kari, ex my grandma, both our grandmas, and I'm gone, man. Bam time.